Hey, I'm Pops. I want to talk about Resident Alien Season 1. Only watched Season 1. Left Eye Ego. Hmm. Listen, I love the guy. I'm going to tell you why this show didn't work for me. I can tell you I had some fun watching some of it, and some other parts, not so much. So let's talk about it. So, quickly, Resident Alien has to do with. Here, let's go ahead and just
Excuse me, sir.
take that audio out of there. All right. So basically, you have an alien who comes to Earth. He's trying to assimilate. The ship has crashed. He's lost a device. He's here to kill everybody. And the point of season one is that he is going to grow to, through his assimilation, maybe not want to kill us. That's all. Okay. It is a very remote town, and he's a ship's doctor because that's the body that he took. And the show is comedy with some mystery and some sci-fi, and it's full of a bunch of unlikable characters, which I think is the best way to explain. So here's his character. Alan Tudyk plays Harry. Harry is an alien underneath all that. And the first two episodes that deal a lot with Harry trying to know how to work the body, get used to things, getting used to the situation that he's in, all of that kind of information. All of that actually plays quite well, right? Because the lightning struck the ship. He's in this little tiny Colorado town. It's very podunk, backwoods kind of place on the mountains in this lake. And he's immediately asked, because he's a doctor, he's asked to come and investigate the death of the doctor in town by the sheriff and the deputy, right? And the entire premise is that he's going to take over the role of town doctor. This murder's kind of like not really been resolved. And then you have different interactions of him trying to figure out how to get the device and return his mission and interact with all these different people like that. And the comedy and stuff plays very well in the first couple episodes. And then, especially when he's trying to assimilate into being a doctor, dealing with human conditions, he's basically on his phone, usually looking something up, and it does play pretty well. Now, the final episode, I think, plays pretty well. And I think this is the situation with this show. The show is the exact example of what doesn't work in Hollywood. The first and second and the final episodes were done by the creator, right? Chris Sheridan is the creator. He is the one that kind of drives the ship towards the beginning. He kind of wrote the teleplay. He's the one that sold it. He's the one that got all this done. This is why all of that sort of works. What doesn't work is a lot of the other characters, these secondary characters, and that kind of thing. For example, the sheriff and the deputy. Now, the sheriff, who wants to be called like, what's he want to call it? Black Bill or something? What's he want to be called? It's some ridiculous name that's like, it's like racist, but not racist. Like, it's so strange. It's Big Black. He wants to be called Big Black. And everyone's like, what? He is so insecure that all of his shtick is centered around him trying to control everything, everyone else. He demeans the deputy, which is supposed to be played for laugh. And he loves this dog, this police dog named Cletus. Um, the deputy is actually probably one of the more likable characters in the show, but the joke just keeps getting tired. Her name is Liv, and she's really the only one who does any real work, right? It's the sheriff's a buffoon. She's underappreciated, she's ignored, all of that. And all of that actually is probably some of the better elements to the show. All right, so he's going to become the town doctor to investigate this murder, and then there's kind of some different things. So now, all right, so this character on the left is his nurse. Okay, the nurse, her name is Asta. Now, Asta has she's a really weird 12 trees. Oh, she's the assistant. She's like a nurse. She helps run this clinic. And she's the gateway to this Ute Indians, these Native Americans. She's supposed to be the most likable. She's sort of, I don't want to say a love interest, but she's one of the first people that Harry's kind of close to. She's the adult that at least figures out that he's an alien, but we'll get to that. She's it's not that she's unlikable. I think the actress doesn't do a very good job. I don't think they quite know exactly what they want to do with this character. So at times she's kind of all over the map, right? Um, and then at the end, there's a scene where they're caught in the ice or whatever, and he's injured. Look at his facial expressions. See, Alan Tudyk on screen is what sells the show and is worth watching. Then there's Asta. This is Asta again. Okay, so there's what he looks like when he's not in his human form, him trying to fit in, right? It's this cutaway. And there are tons of shots that are played for laughs where he's just walking around in his alien form. Now, there's a little boy, and the little boy has like, I guess, a genetic anomaly, I believe is how that's attributed. And the little boy sees him in his alien form. The parents think he's nuts. He's going to go to therapy. All of this is done pretty well. I actually liked all that. The little side friend, the little boy's friend, it's like a girlfriend, but not a girlfriend, right? She's a little Muslim girl, and there's jokes about not cussing in front of her and all that kind of stuff. And I got to be honest, it got tedious. This is like, they make feminist jokes. This little girl's, she's trying to play like the toxic male jokes. She's all that kind of stuff. I hated all of that. I didn't care for much of that at all. She's the smart one. She figures things out, that kind of thing, right? Let me see what other kind of footage. This is Big Black being obnoxious, whatever. This is the drawing. So this is the mom she's thinking that the boy is disturbed. This is what he drew, which of course is him, right? And then this is them find the body. This is him looking. So like the circumcision joke is because he looks on the phone. He's very insensitive. It's almost like the Sheldon jokes through Big Bang. Where's the other girl? Here's the two kids. Earth needs. I don't think we see. Oh, there she is. There she is. Okay. So this character is one of the main characters that is probably the downfall of the show for me. I can't. This character was just so boring. Okay, so her name is Darcy. She runs the bar. She had been in the Olympics and had a skiing accident, and basically is just like the town loser, drunk, slut, insert whatever you want, completely unlikable person, right? And then when they have this moment where he's out on this glacier looking and he falls, and the three of them are sort of trapped in this scenario, she saves the day. But she saves the day in this off-putting, unbelievable, like how they get their injuries, all of this. It's just, it's so bad. She is such a interesting, redeeming character, a walking stereotype of this sort of like salty white girl. It's just, she's not funny. She's not likable. She's not interesting. She's not tragic. She's just a mess, and I don't care. There's a mayor and the wife, which is Max's mom. I believe that's who they are. I don't know. And he's like a beta, and he's always trying to interact with the sheriff, who's being, he's super insecure, so it's over the top. I said, I think the beginning and the ending of the show work because the original creator did a good job doing that, bringing this to light. So season 1 is gotten a nice full recommendation from a lot of folks, but all these other characters, other than the main character, I just never really cared about. I was irritated by. There's so much fluff about trying to make them and give them time, and I don't know if we're supposed to really even care about their journey or whatever, because it doesn't really work. And then we squeeze in this random cameo of, or I shouldn't say cameo, it's a small role of Linda Hamilton. So Linda Hamilton plays a general. She's basically like the uber nasty girl's boss who hunts ETs, and it's shoehorned in. She has like a forced backstory, the whole thing. It's cringy and terrible. And then what's worse is she has 2 agents that are going out trying to find Harry, and it's run by like crazy boss lady who shoots and kills someone. Like she's Oh, there's just so many unlikable female characters that are manufactured and like shoehorned into this story about Harry, the Starman type story of alien must live among us kind of stuff, which works in essence when he's given control to just be funny. When it's in the framework of all of this other stuff, just didn't really enjoy it that much, right? There's a point where the doctor's wife comes back. They have an estranged marriage. She just shows up. So now we have to derail the show for at least an episode or so with like all of the sex stuff with Harry trying to figure that out. And he's an alien and blah, blah, blah. And they have sex and boobies and blah, 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 blah. And it's like this show is just an amalgam of things that aren't funny, but people think it would be funny, is how I felt. Like moments are funny and stuff like that, but these characters are so unlikable. I really liked Alan Tudyk. The little boy at times were fine. Asta is okay, but her dad is. I really enjoyed the dad. The deputy's fine. Like, I just didn't want to see the story continue. And by the time we end up ending the first season, we got what, 3 or 4 people who knows an alien? Like, how long are you going to keep all this secret, man? I don't know. There's my thoughts on it. I think we'll go on and try to watch season 2, even though I hear how bad season 2 is. Mrs. Pops will have to play that card. I don't know about that. I purposely could stop. I can't recommend the show, but it is like mindless blather that you could just sit through and every now and again have some laughs and whatever. It's not the worst show in the world, but it's not really that good. So that's my take on it.